Name, Jojo Rabbit. One sentence summary. A coming of age story about a young boy and his imaginary friend. Set in 1945 Germany, and the imaginary friend is Hitler. Could you beat the villain? Could I beat Nazi Germany? Yeah, I could. With such a cult of personality around Hitler, I feel that if you took him out and made it very, very public, the war effort would crumble and the nation would be destabilised. I think a one-man sneak attack into the Wolf's Den with my superior skill and cunning would be fairly easy. How do you improve the film? The dancing at the end was an anachronism, and some of the language was as well. I'm willing to let some of the language slide, not the dancing. Some of the accents were a little bit dodgy some of the time, but it's fine. Jojo seemed to put a pot of glue or paste on an armchair. That was irresponsible, even if the pot was probably empty. Shouldn't have done it. Jojo seems to be a bit of a dumbass, because he's 10. So he discovered a secret room. I'm surprised the Gestapo agents, who are probably trained for this sort of thing, didn't discover it as well. Also, Stephen Merchant, terrifying as a Gestapo agent. Didn't need that in my brain. Also, what were those guys doing there? Was it just a random door knock, or had someone tipped them off about something? What was going on? Or, more likely, was it Scarlett Johansson running her mouth all the time and not being very subtle about her views? There we go. Scarlett, Jojo's mother, she's obviously having a tough time, you know, looking after the little boy when the dad is away somewhere, fighting in the war or fighting in the resistance, you know, whatever. And she seems to have a bit of a mental breakdown when she's trying to portray both herself and the father in a scene, let's call it. And she wipes some soot from the fireplace on her face to make like a beard. Okay. But in the, I think like one picture we saw of Jojo's dad, he didn't have a beard. And I don't think beards were like on trend at the time, so that was strange. How come Elsa didn't just tell Scarlett that Jojo knew she was hiding in the walls and they could have worked together as a team? And Jojo assumes that as an Aryan, he's like superior to Elsa, who's Jewish. So to disprove him, she kind of like wrestles him into submission. Bearing in mind, she's already threatened him with a knife at this point as well. And he is, as I say, 10 years old, and she's like 18, I believe. So take the high road there, I guess. What actually happened to Jojo's sister? The family believe her to be dead, but the authorities might not know that she's dead. Odd. I don't think Nazis referred to themselves as Nazis. The Germans were speaking English, so we, the audience, could understand them. But when the Americans showed up, well, probably would have been Russians in real life, but whatever. When the Americans showed up, they were also speaking English, but Jojo didn't seem to understand them. So my question is, like, if this is dubbed into German, would they dub Jojo and all the Germans speaking English into German, and then leave the Americans as English, or would they dub those into German as well? I don't know, it confuses me. Pretty sure when Jojo felt the butterflies in his stomach, Elsa was dressed up in Scarlett Johansson's clothes, and, you know, Jojo's mum. Bit weird, but whatever. And Hitler was a vegetarian. I don't think he'd eat a unicorn. Rating out of 5 beers, give it a 1. It was funny, it was heartwarming, and it was also harrowing. So there we go.